So Kumar here again. We're talking about audience awareness now. So this is Essay 3 and it is very important. This is one of the most important aspects of Essay 3. If you are going to analyze a performance or an argument or an essay, you must understand who you believe the author was trying to speak to. And I will tell you this, it is not everybody and anybody. There is always some kind of a perception, some kind of an idea of who am I arguing to? Who am I trying to convince? Okay? Now, one thing we have to understand about an argument is there would be no reason to make an argument if everyone agreed. So the first thing you already understand is most likely your audience is okay, there's these two sides, right? Your audience is over here on the disagree. Okay? Most likely. Now, it's possible that they are on the agree side. Okay? There are many articles, many people write to people who already agree with something. For instance, the environmental issue. Let's suppose we're talking about the environmental issue. Okay? If I'm going to make an argument that people should install solar panels and use less electricity, from fossil fuels. Who am I already, who do you know I'm already speaking to? You already know that I'm speaking to people who believe that we should be environmentalists, that fossil fuels probably, harm the environment. My audience already believes that. Why do you know that? Well, the reason why you know that is I haven't taken any time to convince you that, hey, listen, I'm going to give you proof that fossil fuels destroy the ozone layer. If I don't give you any proof and I just come in with the assumption that you already agree, then my audience would be those who agree that fossil fuels are harmful to the environment. In the same way, if I came into this article, maybe I'm trying to prove that we should use solar panels. If I'm going to speak to the group that disagrees, that says, hey, there's not enough evidence to prove that fossil fuels harm the environment. I'm going and I'm saying, okay, my position is, yes, there is, and I'm going to try to get you to use solar panels. Well, this group is going to need me. I'm going to have to really give a lot of good evidence to try to make this group believe, hey, that those fossil fuels cause, problems with the environment. Before they're even going to listen to me, when it comes to solar panels. If my goal is to get people to install solar panels because of an environmental reason, well, okay, I need to make sure that these people agree with me eventually. Or what if my only goal is to get people to install solar panels? Okay? And I'm trying to get this group that disagrees that fossil fuels cause environmental problems. Do I have to make them agree that fossil fuels cause problems? No, I don't. I can circumvent that issue. I can say there are enough reasons for you to install solar panels that you don't even have to believe that fossil fuels cause problems. You get me? Okay? And you're going to know that. You're going to know that's my strategy, because when you read my essay, you would say, okay, this guy, he's talking to people, he's not mentioning the environmental thing, right? Maybe he even mentions how, hey, there's not enough evidence to know whether or not fossil fuels are harming the environment. But even if they're not, there are many other reasons why we should install solar panels. You're going to be able to figure this out. This is the part where you really have to read it carefully and try to understand, okay, I understand that this author is trying to reach this certain kind of audience. And what are some of those clues that I can pick up? Well, tone is one thing, okay? So let's think about, what is tone? Okay? When we're thinking about the tone that an author takes, is it an angry tone? Is it a friendly tone? Is it a sympathetic tone? These are going to be clues, and it'll let you know approximately how the author feels toward the audience. So let's just suppose I am writing an essay. Maybe I'm writing a letter to the people in my dorm hall, and they've been causing a mess in the hallways and the bathrooms, and I'm angry about it, and I say, you guys need to be, more respectful and things like that. Well, my tone may come across, I'm saying, hey, you guys need to be doing this, right? There is a certain kind of an angry tone or a tone that is somewhat judgmental of other people. And maybe it's justified. I'm just saying the tone is going to let you know approximately who I think I'm talking to, okay? For instance, you may use a different tone if you want something from your boss versus if you want something from your little brother or sister. You get me there? There's a way we speak to people based off of our position and how we feel we need to speak to that audience. So that's something to look for. For instance, you may have a certain kind of tone to people. It's like, I really feel that I understand you've got this problem, and this is not your fault. And this other group is causing this problem, but this is what we need to do about it. Okay? Think about that tone. Okay, that instantly tells me who I'm speaking to in that situation. Think about it. And that will help you try to determine who your audience is. Another thing you're going to have to think about whenever you're determining an audience would be things like vocabulary, things that we call jargon. Okay? Now, when it comes to jargon, I got artistically wrote that there. When it comes to jargon or vocabulary, there's, I don't know if you've ever talked to a person about certain video games or sport or anything where there's specialized vocabulary. Well, if there's ever specialized vocabulary or there are red flag words, in other words, let's see, if, for instance, maybe you might see someone say trigger, okay? Well, I'm not meaning a trigger for like a gun or something like that. I mean, this is something that maybe I'm speaking to a group that understands some psychology, okay? Okay, this is a trigger. This experience is a trigger. Or, for instance, one of the things that are discussed these days on the 4th of July, fireworks can sometimes trigger veterans' PTSD, okay? So perhaps there's certain words that the author is going to use that will give you an idea of approximately who this author believes he or she is talking to. I want you to go back and take a look at the other videos that I've done on audience, because all of those rules still apply. The only difference is you're looking at someone else's writing. You're reading their essay, just like I read your essay. You're reading someone else's essay. Can you deduce through just basic evidence in the essay who you think this author is writing to? So that's your task. And for this part of your pre-writing, I've given you an assignment. Your instructor, if it's not me, has given you an assignment. How you're supposed to identify that target audience. Again, this is not your audience. You're trying to identify the audience that the author was writing to. All right, get to it.